Hey guys, this is Arun,
And this is Abby.
and welcome back to a brand new episode of Fill Your Pockets. Today's episode, September the 10th. It is a Friday, so we are gonna finish this week strong. Yesterday we had no episode yesterday, but we also did not post any plays, but we did post a play 2 days before that on Wednesday. And a quick recap of that. We had a parlay and a straight money line bet. The parlay, Braves money line, and the A's first 5 innings. The A's took care of business their first 5 innings, and that leg hit of the parlay, but the Braves ended up losing it to the Nationals on Wednesday, 4-2. So we ended up missing that parlay, but our money line did hit. San Francisco ended up winning. For the season, right now we're sitting our record 31 and 23, looking really good in my opinion. But Abby, before we start off today's episode, last episode of the week, do you quickly want to recap Wednesday's plays and the games?
Yes, sir. Ruin summed it up pretty damn well, in my opinion. Rockies Giants. Rockies got out to a 3-0 lead, and to be honest, I didn't care. I didn't think they had a chance anyways. Giants immediately scored 3 runs, tied up. And then ninth inning, they score 4 runs, make it 7-4. 7-4, 7-4, my bad, not 7-3, 7-4. And they run away with the game. Rockies win. Great value there. The line was amazing, in my opinion, to pick the Rockies. I mean, the Giants. Sorry about that. Parlay, unfortunately, did not hit because the Braves lost 4-2. They were able to tie it up 2-2, but then the bullpen imploded, and the Braves lost to the Washington Nationals, even though they had to win these games. Oakland, first 5 innings. Uh, I think the score was 3-1 if I remember correctly, but the Oakland A's did their job. Frankie Montas was fantastic, and Dallas Keuchel once again shit the bed. By the time he was done with his start, I think he gave up 5 runs, as we thought. His road splits are awful. Oakland A's took advantage in the first 5 innings, and they won the game. They won the game as well, but unfortunately, the parlay did not hit because the Braves lost. But overall, 1-1, solid, not bad, not crazy. 31-23, as Arun mentioned, and I think
Hmm.
where this game started, football's back. Yesterday with a great game. That's how you start off football. That's how you start off the season. College football started off great with week one, and NFL Week One so far was one of the best games I've seen. That may be the best opening game I've seen since I don't even remember when. And I think if that's just foreshadowing what's about to come, then we're all in for a treat, in my opinion.
All right, moving on to today's episode. We plan on finishing this week strong. We got a few college plays for you for the weekend, and we got for today we got a baseball play for you. So let's get started. First play of the day, MLB play, 7:10 Eastern Time game. We got the Brewers taking on the Cleveland Guardians. The line for this game, Milwaukee will be the favorite, minus 145. Cleveland, plus value, plus 125. Abby, first game of the season series between these two teams, man. 7:10 Eastern Time game. Brewers taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Who you got, man?
Yep, this is going to be our main play for today. Obviously, football is taking over, but listen, there's still baseball going on. There's still meaningful games going on, and the playoffs are around the corner. NBA is also around the corner. I can't believe I'm saying that. It just feels like the NBA ended yesterday, and the
Yep.
Milwaukee Bucks won a championship. But the season is right around the corner. I think training camp starts in a couple days, if I'm not mistaken. Preseason in a couple of weeks. So listen, man, we're about to have a lot of action going on, but there's plenty of food to be eaten, in my opinion. So for today's play, I think our top play today is this game. Brewers at Cleveland, as Arun mentioned. Adrian Hauser versus Eli Morgan. Eli Morgan. Milwaukee Brewers are 7-3 in their last 10. Adrian Hauser, as I mentioned, is pitching for them. His last performance was phenomenal. 9 innings, shutout, complete game, and he's been one of their best pitchers. He's actually been probably a unsung hero for them because he had a very up and down career going into the season, and he's been able to actually become a solid fourth starter. I think solid is not the right word. I think he's been very, very, very good. He's never faced Cleveland in his career, so you can think of that as a blessing and a curse. Blessing being they've never seen him in action. Curse being he hasn't seen them in action either. We get to Cleveland, 5-5 in the last 10 games. Eli Morgan, I'm gonna get into him in a bit. He's the starter for them, the young pitcher for them. The Cleveland Guardians, they are what they are. They're going to end the season missing the playoffs. They are a 500 team. They're a mediocre team. They have some athletes that can run. They have some star power. They have some pitching, and they're just a solid to average team. But they had a lot of injuries to their starters. Their best pitcher, Shane Bieber, has not pitched in months. I think it's been like 3 months now since he hasn't pitched. Aaron Savali, another guy, hasn't pitched for them in a long time. So that really hurt them this season. And that's why the White Sox are so far removed at the top of the division. And now we get into this game, this matchup. Cleveland, they're 5 and 5 in the last 10. So like I said, they're an average team. Before yesterday, they got shut out by the Twins in back-to-back games. So, and then yesterday they scored 4 runs. So in the last 3 games, they've combined scored 4 runs total. That's 1.333 runs per game. They're not scoring. They haven't scored all season. You're going up against Adrian Hauser, who you've never faced before. This man has amazing stuff. Eli Morgan is really good on the road. He just shut out the Boston Red Sox last time he started. But at home, his numbers are disgustingly bad. He's 1-5 at home with a 7.5 ERA. It doesn't make sense. I guess he just loves being in other people's ballparks. He hates being at home. And with all that being said, I think that's why we lean going Milwaukee Brewers today.
All right, moving on to the next play. And here is where we branch off to the college football side. We got a few games going on tomorrow, and we picked a few games that we like for tomorrow. First game that we like, it is a 4:30 Eastern Time game on ABC. We got Iowa taking on Iowa State. Both teams won their game last week. And the line for this game, Iowa State will be the favorite, -200, and Iowa will be the underdogs for that game, +170. Abhishek, first game, college football. Who you got, man?
I think we have a great slate off for tomorrow. So just to mention this, we're going to give out the baseball play today, obviously, but the college football plays we'll give out tomorrow. Today we're just going to go over them, and that's how we're going to do this. As well as for football, NFL, on Sunday, we will also be doing that. We will be giving out plays now over the weekend because, come on, man, you got to give out football picks. And so now let's start this out off. Iowa at Iowa State, as Arun mentioned. Ranked game. I think it's the 9th-ranked team in the country versus the 10th-ranked team in the country. That's a huge game. Primetime game, 4:30 kickoff. The last 5 times Iowa and Iowa State have played, Iowa has won all 5. Iowa State, if you go back to week 1, they struggled big time against Northern Iowa, a team that is far, far, far inferior to them. They were able to barely score 16 points. The other team scored 10. And they look like – I understand the overreaction with this game based off last week because they're looking ahead. Like, yo, we can take care of these guys. This is a JV team. We're a varsity team playing a JV team. Not even a JV team. We're playing a freshman team. No disrespect to them. They're all college kids. They played their hearts out. Phenomenal. But in all honesty, we were the 9th-ranked team in the country. We're playing at home, our home opener. Next week, we have one of the biggest games. They have 2 big games this season, Iowa State. They have this game tomorrow and then at Oklahoma in November. Those are the 2 big games. So this could have easily been a look ahead. Yo, they're a freshman team. We're a varsity team. They're going to fold. They never did. Now, when you look at Iowa, they played 17th-ranked Indiana. And obviously, a lot of people felt that Indiana was not going to be that good this season. And they were overhyped. And to be honest, Iowa exposed them. 2 pick sixes. The defense was amazing. They dropped 34 on them. They gave up 6 points only. So Iowa's defense was phenomenal. The Iowa defense outscored Indiana 14-6. Iowa's offense didn't need to do shit. But when you look at the numbers, when you look at the history, when Iowa plays this series, they I think the record total between the 2 teams is 43-25 in favor of Iowa. Iowa's won the last 5 games, straight up. And when Iowa has lost, they have not lost by more than 5 points, except for one time in 2005. So With all that being said, I think Iowa's going to win this game straight up as an underdog, plus 190. I think whatever the numbers are, Arun. But I think if you're going to take that, if you believe, you only should take a spread of the underdog if you believe the underdog actually has a chance of winning it when it's a close game. So I'll take the 4.5. It's 5 at some places. If you can get 5, that's great. 4.5, which is a key number in football. 4.5, 5. I think Iowa wins outright, but I'll take the points, and I think Iowa is gonna make a statement tomorrow afternoon.
All right, moving on to the second college football game. It is a 7 o'clock Eastern Time game on ESPN. Texas Longhorns taking on Arkansas Razorbacks. The line for this game has moved since it opened up. Texas opened up at minus 165. Since then, it has moved all the way to minus 265 on DraftKings. Arkansas opened up at plus 145, sitting at now plus 215 value. So this line has been moving. Abhishek, second game of tomorrow's college football slate. What you got, man?
This is the most intriguing matchup for me. Week 1, week 2. I think one team is getting way too much credit, and I think one team is getting far too much blame. Texas is getting far too much credit. They were at home. New head coach Steve Sarkisian, new quarterback. They had 2 quarterbacks. Hudson won the job. They have their best players are running back Bijan Robinson. He's a monster. He's going to make it. He's going to be in the NFL soon, very soon. They took care of a Louisiana team who we all could also be overrating, in my opinion. They were ranked 23rd or 22nd when the polls came out. And give Texas credit. All the people were saying, yo, Texas sucks. Texas, we keep going through this. They fire coaches, change coaches. They never do anything. They're playing a ranked team. Louisiana last year went to Iowa State, the team that we just went over, and beat them week 1 at Iowa State. So people were like, yo, Louisiana plus 8, money line, hammer them, underdog, upset. Texas was like, nah, we're not going to have that. New head coach, new philosophies, new culture. They won the game 38. I think the score was 38-18. It was never in doubt, and Texas took care of business. I think they're just getting a little bit too much credit for doing that. Now, Arkansas, they were about to lose to Rice. Arkansas had a great season last year. They had one of the best defenses in the country. 9 starters came back. They have a new quarterback, but their head coach looks like he knows what he's doing. They played Rice. Once again, same thing as Iowa State. You got a varsity team versus a freshman team. And Rice actually was leading. I forgot when. I think somewhere in the first half, third quarter, Rice had the lead. But then Arkansas, you have to give them credit because they put their foot on the gas and they ended up beating them by nearly 20 points. So when they realized they had to win this game, same thing with Iowa State. You can make the argument Arkansas was looking ahead to next week, tomorrow, against Texas. This is one of their biggest games. So it's kind of that's why I call this the most interesting game of the weekend, because you can make the argument both teams are looking forward to the following week, but Texas, they were already playing a ranked team. So you can't make the argument for them. They had to be ready because a ranked team was coming into their building, their turf. So Arkansas, I think they're going to play much better. Their defense, I think, is better than Texas's. I feel the offenses, I kind of give it to Texas, but now you're going to be going up against one of the best defenses in the SEC this weekend. Primetime game, 7 o'clock game, Arkansas, bro, those fans are going to be going crazy. Those college students are going to be going crazy. So this line has moved to 7. I think I'll take the 7. If you could get 7.5, get 7.5 because that's a very big number. But I think Arkansas has a chance to win this game outright, upset at home. I love home underdogs in football. Plus 7, plus 7.5. Take the points. I think Arkansas has a legitimate chance here to win this game.
All right, moving on to the third game of our slate. Another 7:30 Eastern Time game. We got the Missouri Tigers taking on the Kentucky Wildcats. The line for this game, Missouri will be the underdogs plus 180, Kentucky minus 220. Abby, third game of the college football slate. Who you got, man?
I love this game. A lot of people aren't talking about it. I think Kentucky can make some noise. I love Kentucky in this game. Missouri played Central Michigan at home. They were up 3 points at half. They ended up winning 34-24. So you gave up 24 points to Central Michigan. Kentucky didn't play a big team either. Kentucky played UL Monroe, and they destroyed them 45-10. Kentucky got the transfer from Penn State, Will Levis. This man can flat out throw the ball. He had 350 yards passing. He had one interception. That interception should have never happened. The receiver tipped it up in the air, and that's why I got picked off. So the score should have been like 45-3 in all honesty. At home, rivalry game. These guys, they play close games in general. Kentucky, I think they're improved from the previous couple of years. Kentucky plays generally better at home, anyways. Both these two teams had picnics week one, so the fan base in Kentucky is going to be going crazy. This is their first real game of the season. Between both these two teams, Missouri struggled against a freshman team. Week one at home, Kentucky dominated. So with all that being said, I think the offense for Kentucky is better than Missouri's offense. So with all that being said, I think Kentucky is the pick here. -5, money line. We'll see how the line moves. But Kentucky is clear and cut the play here, in my opinion.
Okay, moving on to the last game that we'll be going over. We got the Florida Gators taking on the South Florida Bulls. It's a 1 o'clock Eastern time game tomorrow. Tomorrow. The line for this game, the Gators -5,000. South Florida +2,000. Abby, last game of the night for tomorrow. Gators taking on the South Florida Bulls. Who you got?
Oh my God, South Florida is that bad that we're actually picking this game. South Florida is that bad. They lost 0-45 to NC State. 29 points is the spread here for Florida. I think you could get 20. Some places got 28.5. Some places as high as 31. Where I saw it was at 29. For this game, I think Florida, they're trying to figure out who's their quarterback. They have a humongous game next week against Alabama. Florida does. But Florida's going to need to figure out who their quarterback is, because Richardson came in last week and he balled out. Emory, the starter, he didn't play so good. I think he had 2 interceptions, but they still ended up winning because they were playing Florida Atlantic. I think in this game, I would take two things here. I would take Florida -29. I would take -29 for the whole game. South Florida is that bad. They are that bad. And then my favorite play for this game is Florida first half -13.5. Depending on what sports book you're using, some places have -13.5, some places have -17. If you can get anything between -13.5 and -16.5, take it. I think Florida's gonna be up 21 to 24 points at halftime. They're gonna kill this team. They're gonna use both QBs because they're trying to figure out who the quarterback's gonna be for that big game against Alabama. South Florida is that bad. They lost 45-0. They look like they had no business playing college football. Florida is way better than NC State. So in this situation, I don't care how big this line is. I think Florida is going to absolutely kill South Florida.
All right, guys. That wraps it up for today's episode. Hope you guys have a terrific weekend. Make sure you tune into the IG page for the picks for today and tomorrow and Sunday as well. So make sure you just stay tuned in for the whole weekend, because we're gonna have some great picks out there and make you guys win some money, hopefully. But with that being said, hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode, which is on Monday. Peace out, guys, and happy gambling.